This is the 2024 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Beer Experiment, Fruited American Wheat. Thanks to our sponsors. 5 Star Chemicals. Check out the interactive cleaning guides and learn more about their newest product, Liquid PBW, on their official website, www.5starchemicals.com. Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Supply Store. Beer and Wine has one of the biggest yeast selections around and boasts an extensive list of homebrew beer kits to make clones of some of your favorite beers. Check them out at www.beer-wine.com and tell them Brewtubers sent you in the order comment box. Let's get sipping.
Hello everyone, this is Kurt from Fermentation Adventures, checking back in with the latest fruit experiment video. Tonight I'm going to be trying Big Dog Brewing's beer, the cleverly named Summer's Eve, cleverly named for probably my 8-year-old. I'm kidding. But anyway, it's called Summer's Eve, I'm sure to evoke the nice summer evenings when you would normally be enjoying this nice wheat beer. But it is a fruit experiment beer. We've all added strawberry to the same recipe that we've all brewed. We've added strawberry in many different ways. Dave's beer, Dave of Big Dog Brewing, has came in at 5.4% ABV, and his was he added frozen pureed strawberries, whole strawberries at cold crash. So probably somewhat similar to what I did. He took strawberries, I guess he probably got it at a grocery store or elsewhere. He pureed them up, then frozen them, or got the strawberries, frozen strawberries, then pureed them. But at any point he added them at cold crash. I added puree to my beer at the end of primary. Again, I added at primary because I assumed there'd be some fermenting out, and I added a bit of extract to kind of try to bump up that flavor. Again, this video is not about my beer, but it's about Dave's. And again, his was added, as I said, pureed strawberries added a cold crash. It was brewed on May the 26th. It was canned on July 17th. His OG was 1049. FG was 1008, which is aligned with most of our beers, I would think. There's no IBUs in here, but same recipe. I'm sure it's the same, 21, 22. His can is nice and firm, so we're expecting a lot of carbonation in this one. My cans have been touch and miss that were sent out there. Again, my canner was in desperate need of being recalibrated, so I had a little bit of issues with some of my cans. I need to throw out a huge thank you to Wrecked Brewing for sending me this. I had previously reviewed Dave's beer probably about a month ago or so, maybe a little bit more, and I was trying a new setup. I was videoing with my phone and trying to record it on my computer, and the audio came out great. The video was janky, and it was just like I was on a 1990s video call. So I couldn't put the video out on YouTube like that. So I threw out a bat signal, a Brewtuber signal to say, hey, anyone else in the experiment get a second one of Dave's beers? And Matt at Wreck Brewing came through for me. So big thank you, Matt. Really appreciate it. So let's get into it. Again, my trusty wheat beer glass. Let's open Dave's beer and see how it goes. So, nice hiss. Really nice. Okay, nice, perfect fill. Again, standard practice that I've been doing for all these beers. It's a wheat beer, obviously. Typically are hazy. Been noticing that because, again, I've been so lax in actually recording the reviews. A lot of the proteins, yeast, whatever that's part of the haziness has settled out. So I'll pour, leave probably about an ounce and a half in the bottom of the can, go through the top pour of the can, do a full review, then circle back and probably throw that back at what was left in the can, shake it up and throw it in like you would with any other wheat beer. It's hard to say. I do find I do get some differences, so I just do 2 reviews, I guess. So let's see. Let's pour Dave's beer in here. Yeah, lots of carbonation in the glass. And again, I can't remember if this was the case, but it is, especially in this wheat beer glass, it is very, very, very clear. Well, it's not brilliant clarity, but it is, especially for a wheat beer, you know, and you look in the bottom of the glass here. I'm sure you can see my fingers through the glass. It's very clear. Lots of nice carbonation, a nice fluffy white head, but again, a very, very yellow beer. Yeah, and right off the nose, getting some very, an awesome strawberry character right from it. And again, it's right from the strawberries. Obviously, it's like grocery store strawberries, or you know, picking them in the field. It's the real strawberry character I'm getting from this, which is really nice. Anything else? No, not really. It's just a kind of it's a fresh strawberry flavor even after all this time, but it's almost like perfumey, the way it's coming off. Not an overbearing aroma, but it's just a very, I don't know if complex is the right word, but kind of a very expressive nose, which is really nice. Yeah, not getting any yeast character. Again, not so much of the underlying beer. Maybe if I go in here again, it's really the strawberry is really taking center stage in the nose, which is good. I like that. It's really presenting, not getting any the ester character. Some of the beers we get a little bit of a, you know, I'm assuming it's some of the yeast character coming through, a little bit of an estery or a phenolic note coming through a little touch. This example, not getting any of that on the nose. Yeah, and again, like I said, the strawberry, as I keep going in, I'm getting more of the, and I think I might have said this than the other one because it's evoking the same sort of memory. It gets more in the more plant-like greeniness of the strawberry, let's say, like maybe some of the leaves or whatever. And again, I'm sure there's no leaves in this, but it's really just trying to point out kind of the depth of this is strawberry, and I'm really getting a good presentation of the overall fruit in the nose. It's really nice. Really like it, as much as it might pay me to say. No, I'm kidding. Always got to give the president of the club a hard time. Okay, let's go for a sip. We did appearance, we did aroma. Yeah, all right. Not as much strawberry note on the flavor. Sipping the beer, again, the aroma is kind of dominant. The beer itself, yeah, the wheat character of the beer is coming through. It's a very light, I wouldn't say very light mouthfeel, but it's a lighter mouthfeel. It's very, with all the carbonation, it's very spritzy. Tiny little bit of tingles on the tongue. So I mean, maybe if I wasn't worried about overfilling the glass, I probably could have poured a bit harder to get some of the carbonation out. But yeah, it's really well carbonated. I know in Dave's review of my beer, he asked if these beers are supposed to be highly carbonated, and typically they usually are. I'm not really getting a bit of a creamy mouthfeel like I kind of expect from a wheat beer. You know, some really nice creaminess with a little bit of a slightly medium mouthfeel. But again, this is, it nicely dries in the mouthfeel itself, makes me really want to just go and have another sip. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and again, as I go in and I'm drinking more and more, and now I'm getting more of that again, subtle, it's not subtle, that, less over the top or less pronounced probably a better word, less pronounced strawberry flavor I was getting from the aroma initially, but it's definitely in there. It was really quite nice. Yeah, it's like, it's like I just drank about a quarter of the glass just tasting it. It's really, really nice. And again, I don't know if some of the beery character is not coming out because of just the beer being somewhat cold. Again, I'm not getting much hop presence from this. The cashmere hops that are in there, it is, perfectly bittered for the style. There's a little bit of bitterness in there to offset everything. And the carbonation's nice. One critique, if it would be looking for a creamier mouthfeel probably, but I suspect when I get whatever is left in the bottom of this can and pour it in there, I'm gonna get a bit of an additional creaminess. But yeah, it's a very light tasting wheat beer. This example, again, it's that's cool. I can watching some of the carbonation go right up in the center. I don't know where the nucleation point is on the glass, but it's a super fine stream of bubbles going right up the middle. If you can see kind of the foam on here, it's really tightly packed, really good looking foam, persistent white foam capped. I'm not getting legs. That's probably more the glass than anything, but yeah. Yeah, the flavor notes are really, again, there's not a lot going on flavor-wise. There goes my glycol chiller, perfect timing. A little bit of the kind of a herbal hoppy note at the finish, or an earthiness, maybe, that I get in the bitterness that perfectly takes care of any, over-the-top sweetness that might be in there. I know there's no over-the-top sweetness because it is kind of a dry beer, but it just, finishes really, really nice. It's really drinkable. Malt, maybe some very light malt flavors, lightly bready flavors probably. Touched on the hops. I'm not really getting any real pronounced yeast character. Maybe a little bit of a subtle phenolic flavor in there. I think I got a little bit of that. But I think that's it. If I was doing a score sheet right now, I'd be on the overall. But all right, let's rouse up the bottom of the can and let's pour it in. And you can see why I do this immediately. So yeah, pretty much got everything. Again, here's Dave's can. Yeah, so now you can see probably more of a typical, especially in this type of glass, slight haziness is back in there. Nice smell. Yeah, interesting. And again, it's probably just because I've disturbed everything or not, but the strawberry aroma, and maybe I'm getting just a little nose blind to it. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, the initial really fresh strawberries kind of subsided a little bit, but it's still kind of the more planty, let's say, note. Really more of the, when you're into the middle of the strawberry and that kind of that lack of that really sweetness is jumping out at you. That's kind of what I'm getting here now. See, oh man. Again, I don't know if it's because the yeast is coming in, or it drove some more of the carbonation off by pouring it in, but when I was talking initially that the creaminess was lacking, whatever we got from the bottom of the can here, be it the dregs of the yeast, Maybe some of the proteins might have fell out. This mouthfeel right now is perfect. It's probably, you know, a low to medium mouthfeel, but it's just really creamy now, and all of that kind of prickliness that you know, which was the one thing that was a little off-putting. You know, sometimes you drink a highly carbonated beer and you get that, or soda, and you get a little bit of that prickly carbonation note right on your tongue. That's not there now, and really I just get a really nice creamy finish, which is really appropriate for a wheat beer. So yeah, and interestingly enough, creaminess is there. Strawberry again is probably pushed a little bit to the background. I'm really getting probably more of tasting a little bit more of the breadiness of the wheat and the kind of the two-row. I can't remember if we used two-row or Pilsner, but that kind of light malt flavor coming through. And it's a bit more of a beery beer now, but again, what was probably something that was really good is now really, really good. So I think I'll end it there. Thanks, Dave, for taking part and let me try the beer for a second time. Great job. Really tasty beer. I'll finish this in a little bit here. And I'll close by sending a big shout out to Nick at Exit 12 for being my opening act in this video. Really appreciate you opening for me. And then a big shout out to our sponsors, Beer and Wine Hobby and 5 Star Chemicals. Thanks for supporting us and making these experiments happen. And thanks to the Brewtubers Club for really adding an additional layer of fun to the hobby for me and making the whole homebrewing experience just that much better. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time, because I don't know what to do with my thumbs. Cheers.